What's up, guys? Dan from DNR Sports here. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Dallas Cowboys depth chart. Going to look at this both from a fantasy and from an overall team aspect. This was a team that last year had a lot of promise through the first 5 weeks. Not so much on the defensive side of the ball, but mainly for fantasy on the offensive side. Um, we saw them just completely crumble due to injuries, and this year are not being overlooked, but um, just aren't being drafted quite high enough. Let's take a look at the depth chart to start. We got Dak at quarterback. Obviously, through the first 5 weeks of last season, he was on record numbers. I believe he was on pace for like 7K yards. It was ridiculous stats. He was insane. That's in large part to the defense being just so bad that they would have to keep up in every single game because the defense would just let up like 500 passing yards. It was just a shootout every single game. The nice thing about that for this year for fantasy is that hasn't changed. The defense is still garbage. They have, let's just start with defense, honestly, with this team. They have good linebackers, right? So we got Leighton Vander Esch, Micah Parsons, and Jalen Smith. Parsons coming in this year, going to be a big help to this group. Obviously, Jalen Smith and Vander Esch have been good for a couple years now. Jalen is the main backer in this defense. The D line, according to PFF, coming into this season is their 27th ranked D line. They're talking about how the edge pieces, obviously Randy Gregory and DeMarcus Lawrence, are good, but the interior, complete garbage. They actually allowed last year half a yard more to every single running back rushing up the middle, which is just really bad. it was worse than the entire league. And you combine that with Trayvon Diggs, who is a literal trash can on the outside, and you will be letting up like 800 total yards a game, basically. DeMonte Casey, nothing special. Donovan Wilson, nothing special. Anthony Brown, nothing special. Like this cornerback group, none of them made it into PFF's top 32. Like it's just not good. So they will be walked all over as usual, and in turn that works out for fun games because Dallas was actually, along with the Cardinals, the fastest paced team, fastest pace of play team last year. So when we talk about fantasy, you want fast pace of play and terrible defense. That's basically the Bucks from 2 or 3 years ago, and James was going nuts with them. So Dak gonna have a great passing season. We all know this. He has some rushing upside too, some sneaky rushing upside. This was in 5 games, and one of them. This is in 4.5 games. 4.5 games. Like, oh my god, just a beast. Just a beast. Anyways, Zeke Elliott. This is somebody who is like extremely hindered by the injuries last year. Not him, but his own line. Zach Martin, Tyron Smith, and Lyle Collins were all injured for a good portion of last year. So Zeke, even with that, had the 5th most attempts. We like to see that. It shows that Tony Pollard didn't just come onto the scene and take everything. He almost had a K yards, almost had 1,000 yards, 11th overall in the NFL. Not bad. It wasn't a good running back season last year, as we all know. Barkley, CMC, all of them going down. 6 TDs. That's not good. But obviously that's in part due to Dak being injured and the O line being terrible and just it's just not a good offense to be a part of. We all knew this. The team was in give up mode since Dak went down. 4 yards per carry, not great, but honestly, with that O line, with everyone being injured and with no help from a quarterback, I'll take 4 yards per carry. To be honest, Dak or Zeke didn't really fall off. Let's just move on to the O line right now, just so we could get a little more context on Zeke. So basically, when looking at the offensive line rankings for last year, PFF has them as the 27th overall offensive line because Zach Martin, Tyron Smith, and Lyle Collins basically didn't play. Tyron Smith played a little bit, but not crazy. Basically, in this article, we see that next year they have them at the 6th O-line overall because Tyron Smith, they don't have him classified as like a top 5 tackle anymore, but they said he's pretty solid still. So him coming back, Lyle Collins actually made a huge jump after in his 2019 season, getting 86.4 overall grade, which is the 5th best among tackles, and he was outstanding in the run game, earning an 89.4 grade that ranked 3rd. He's remained solid in pass protection. He missed 2020 due to hip surgery, but he'll be back. Zach Martin, obviously the best guard in the league for 7 years. There's only been one season where he hasn't graded 85 or above out of 7 seasons. Yes, I know Quentin Nelson is in the league, but Zach Martin is like the OG, you know? Him coming back is so huge. The only question mark really in this line is, um, well, actually, let's get to left guard Conor Williams finished with the number 17 overall grade at guard last year. So obviously he's improved a lot. So there are four interior outerior players are good, but the center player, yeah, he's not good yet. It's gonna be Tyler Biadasz. I don't fucking know how to pronounce that last name, but he's ranked 33rd last year over out of 37 qualified centers. That's not good, but they're talking about how he's been extremely good at run blocking in college. It was his first year last year. You know, offensive line takes some time to develop. If he can develop into a great run blocker again, if he can keep that going for him, you know, Zeke is gonna feast this year. Absolutely feast. So I think this is one of the best lines in the league, which is good news for Dallas fans. And then moving on to the most, you know, fun position, I guess, on Dallas would be receiver. We got Cooper, Gallup, and Lamb. In my opinion, it goes Cooper, Lamb, Gallup for fantasy and for just talent overall. I think Amari's the best route runner here. He's the deep threat. He's Dak's number one guy. Last season finished with the best numbers. I know last season doesn't really matter at all. It was CD's rookie year, and it was Ben fucking DiNucci throwing him the ball. Doesn't matter. But 92 receptions, 1,114 yards, 5 TDs. Nothing bad from Amari, but I think he's going to improve on all those numbers slightly this year. Moving on to Michael Gallup, who had a surprising year. 59 receptions, 843 yards, and 5 TDs. I'm surprised because I just thought he would have been a little worse with like DiNucci and all that. But he actually almost got to 1K yards. I think with Dak this year throwing the ball, they're going to be throwing for 300 to 500 yards a game depending on who they're playing. Gallup could very easily get over 1K yards. All three receivers. This might be the first team that I've ever seen have 3,000-yard receivers. I can't remember when that's ever been a thing. And then CeeDee Lamb. Last year, 935 yards, 5 TDs, 74 receptions. He's the slot guy of this team, but it turns out in minicamp they've actually been experimenting with him in all 4 receiver positions. I guess they're going to move him to the outside at some point. So they're going to keep him in the slot. They're gonna throw him everywhere because he is an absolute athlete. We saw that catch he made last year, that in the end zone, like over the back catch. I don't think I've ever seen a better adjustment in all my how many years? Probably 15 years of watching the NFL now. I don't think I've ever seen a better adjustment catch than that. That was pretty insane to watch. So talent-wise, this receiver group is fast, they're big, they're strong. Compared to Dak just airing that shit out with Zeke, one of the best rushers in the league when he's in a healthy O-line. They have a healthy O-line. This offense is just, oh my god, they're nuclear. And with the pace of play that the coaching staff wants to play at, perfect for fantasy. Absolutely perfect. The defense obviously helping by being shit. That's what we want. That's what we want. Dallas overall is probably going to go like 10-7, 9-8, something like that. Something middle of the road. I can't give them higher. I'm sorry, Dallas fans. I cannot give you higher just because your defense is that bad. Defense wins championships. We all know this, but I think you'll be the most fun team this year to watch and to have for fantasy. The last thing we have to talk about is tight ends. It doesn't really matter. I know Blake Jarman's coming back, but like, he was a backup before he was the starter. Like I guess everyone's the backup before they were the starter, but he wasn't like a stud the year he was healthy. Dalton Schultz actually was pretty decent last year. 63 receptions, 615 yards, 4 TDs. For a tight end, which you're typically looking for, one of these like middle of the road tight ends, you want to get like 600 to 700 yards. 60 receptions is great. And then about like 5 or more, 6 or more TDs. That's what you're looking for. And he did that. With Blake Jarwin coming back, I think, honestly, like, it's just going to be so many 3 receiver sets with Zeke in the backfield that, like, they're just not going to run much double tight end shit. Why would they when everyone else is more talented than these guys? But to me, it doesn't really matter who the starting tight end is. I thought Schultz did fine last year. I'd be kind of surprised if Jarwin is the complete starter, just because Schultz was such a good security blanket last season. I'm not going to cap. I don't know who the better blocker is out of the two. So I guess that'll be the main deciding factor of who gets the most snaps, just who can block better. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for the Dallas Cowboys episode. I think they're just a super stud offense, a super bad defense, the best team overall for fantasy to target. And yeah, if you guys like the video, please leave a like, drop a comment, let me know what you think. Sub if you're new around here, and turn those post notifications on. Please turn those post notifications on so we can catch every single video that I drop. I'm dropping them daily, every single day, boys. Come on, ramping up till fantasy season starts. Just let me know what you guys want. Like I've done all these team reviews, but let me know other types of things. I've noticed that my top 6 and top 12 receiver rankings didn't do as well as I wish they did. I wish I got a couple more views there. Let me know what you guys want to see. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
I can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right.